It's the moment that so many of the British fans have been waiting for. The hill is full to capacity. They've closed the hill there, but just overnight the All England club decided to install a screen at the other end of Wimbledon to accommodate the fans that were pouring through the gates today. Well, it was erected at 1 o'clock this morning there, so not only in the stands on court 13, but also courts 11 and 12. They can enjoy the tennis, but you can see they're having a few teething problems up there on the screen at the moment. The club officials are busy trying to do everything they can to solve the picture problems. In fact, a team from the BBC have also gone down to lend a hand. So that is the scene outside, but of course it's centre court where the attention is, and everyone will be taking their seats for this. And here come the players, no doubt to a huge ovation. So here we go. It really is a huge match for the British #1. Tim plays a man he knows he can beat, a player he knows he should beat, and someone the nation expects him to beat. The question mark, of course, hangs over the ivanisevic serve. Just how big a weapon will that be today? He's served 150 aces in his 5 matches so far in the championships. I wonder how many more today. So Peter Fleming said it's about 50-50 this match. In fact, Pat Rafter was saying it's 50-50 this match, but no doubt Tim will have his supporters there today. Let's join our commentators on court. John McEnroe will be with John Lloyd and David Mercer.
What a moment for British tennis. Not since Bunny Austin beat Henna Henkel of Germany 6-2, 6-4, 6-love in 1938 have we had a men's singles finalist. Tim Henman has tasted defeat in the semi-finals, twice of course to Pete Sampras. Mike Sangster was a semi-finalist in 1961 and lost to Chuck McKinley, and Roger Taylor 3 times a semi-finalist, 1967 to Wilhelm Bungert, 1970 to Ken Rosewall, and then 1973 to Jan Kodesh. And Tim's family will be hoping that this is the day that that 63-year wait will be ended. And it's an intriguing contest, isn't it? The reborn Goran Ivanisevic, who at the Queen's Club at the Stella Artois Championships 4 weeks ago lost in the first round to a qualifier, Cristiano Karate, and his career seemed to be just fading away pretty quietly. But he was given a wild card here and walked through the gates and totally revitalized the mercurial Croat, who by his own admission can be a little crazy. He says he has 3 personalities and they're all in sync at the moment. And opposing him, the quintessential Englishman, the son of a solicitor from the Shires, stiff upper lip, understated on the court, but with a steely resolve, a man who believes competing is nothing, winning is everything. And what a day for Tim Henman, John Lloyd. You know all about bearing the burden of expectations here at Wimbledon, but he seems to thrive on it.
He does. I don't know how he does, to be honest. I mean, the pressure that is on him is absolutely immense, with obviously everybody in the country for years now hoping we would have some real success, and he has adapted so well. I mean, the semi-finals that he lost, it certainly wasn't because he got nervous or choked in those matches. It was because he came up against Pete Sampras. That's the bottom line there, and he seems to thrive on it. He loves to be on this centre court, and the bigger the match, the better he seems to play. And I think he'll be very content out here today. He'll be obviously a bit nervous, like we would expect him to be, but I think he's ready to go. He looks very confident, and what an occasion.
And these people here can play such an important part, because if Henman can start well, get the crowd going, perhaps not quite the same crowd as earlier in the championships, fewer tickets for the queuers at this stage, but the crowd can be so important, in particular in the crisis, and just lifting him as they did when he was 3 set points down against Roger Federer in that second set tiebreak, and again was behind in the 4 set tiebreak. They just lifted him, and makes all the difference. But Of course, Goran Ivanisevic has many supporters because if he was playing anybody else, he would be the crowd's favourite.
Yeah, well, he's been the, well, I think with Tim Henman, probably the biggest two stories, certainly on the men's side. Obviously, Sampras going out was huge, but Ivanisevic, I mean, what a story it's been for him.
A man who is now outside the top 100 of the world rankings. As you can see, the entry system, only 83rd in the race. Before this tournament, he'd won only 9 matches all year, but of course 3 times the runner-up here, to Agassi in 1992 and to Sampras on 2 other occasions, and a very fine record playing here for the 14th time. He's a man who stands 6'4" from Split in Croatia, and watching him there on the right is his father Srđan, who's been told, "You shouldn't be here, you've got a dicky heart." There's no way he wouldn't be there. And alongside him, Niki Pilic, of course, another Croat, a very fine left-hander who was Germany's Davis Cup captain for many, many years, and he was helping Goran on the practice court this morning.
1 minute.
And Tim Henman, I read this morning Roger Taylor, the Davis Cup captain, 3 times the semi-finalist, saying it's not his last chance, but it's his best chance. You can see that his Grand Slam record at Wimbledon so much better than in the other Grand Slams. He thrives on the atmosphere here. Twice a semi-finalist, twice a quarter-finalist, and playing here for the 8th time. John McEnroe has rushed round from the commentary box of NBC, our American colleagues. And John, Tim has got a good record against Goran. He's won all 4 of their matches. He's played 9 matches against left-handers this year and won 8 of them, including beating Wayne Arthurs, a huge server, twice, Greg Rosetsky once. Why do you think Tim copes with the left-hander so well?
Well, I don't know, but first, I mean, that's a tough one to follow. I mean, that was, I didn't think that they could possibly top what they pulled off last year. I mean, to me, last year was the best match in 25 years. They turned it around, and I mean, Agassi played some outstanding stuff. Rafter looked down and out. I mean, he'll remember that 2-0 15-40 return. I mean, Rafter just miraculously got out of that game, and still he served for the match. But now these 2 guys have to come on the court. I mean,
A lot to live up to.
and you better tell all the fans that this match is about to start, because there's thousands of them outside the stadium. But for Tim, as far as playing Goran, who's 4-4 against him, you pointed out, the thing with that is that he does like to block returns. Well, that's about all you have time to do with Ivanisevic's serve. It's like following the Sampras-Federer match when he had to do that. Not easy.
Play. Fifteen love. Start love.
These guys have to wait, not knowing when they're going to get out on the court. Could have been over in 4, then Rafter wins that. Looks like he was going to go up 2 breaks in the 5th, and then it goes to 8-6. I mean,
Game, Ivanisevic. First game.
So great start for Ivanisevic, a love service game.
it's a guy who's last won a tournament, Goran, in 1998 in Split. So he's pretty much just winning tournaments in his own country at that point. Split, Zagreb, Zagreb in 96. And here he is. These guys must be thinking, well, Rafters, how much can he have left for the final? What a chance for these two. Amazing effort from Rafter.
Second service. All.
Well, if Henman has a weakness, it is the second serve.
Sergio.
That should loosen him up a bit. 126 miles an hour. The first ace. Out.
Use.
And wasn't it supposed to rain today? It only rains at night now here? Or?
We've got the weather well tamed now.
Advantage henman.
That looks a little bit more threatening.
Yeah, fortunately that's, I think, on the other side. It was supposed to pour it down at 3 o'clock, but then the wind changed.
Correction was good.
Ooh, an early overrule.
Use.
I think we can see it was a good overrule by Andreas Eggli, the umpire, plumb on the line.
Well, you sound like an umpire there. You sound like a weatherman the last point. Jack of all trades.
Yeah, I know what the other side of that cliche is as well.
Erected at 1 o'clock this morning there, so not only in the stands on court 13 but also courts 11 and 12 they can enjoy the tennis. But you can see they're having a few teething problems up there on the screen at the moment. The club officials are busy trying to do everything they can to solve the picture problems. In fact, a team from the BBC have also gone down to lend a hand. So that is the scene outside, but of course it's centre court where the attention is, and everyone will be taking their seats for this. And here come the players, no doubt to a huge ovation. So it really is a huge match for the British #1. Tim plays a man he knows he can beat, a player he knows he should beat, and someone the nation expects him to beat. The question mark, of course, hangs over the ivanisevic serve. Just how big a weapon will that be today? He served 150 aces in his 5 matches. It's the moment that so many of the British fans have been waiting for. The hill is full to capacity. They've closed the hill there, but just overnight the All England club decided to install a screen at the other end of Wimbledon to accommodate the fans that were pouring through the gates today. Well, it was a... So here we go.